Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and this is Unreal World, and we are back with our Spirit Quest Resurrected. We've got Athena here, her 4 dogs, and a dead bear. So we're just where we left off from the last episode. We found ourselves a big bear, hunted it down. Our dogs did most of the work, and I was a little too quick in the last one to end the episode because we were running a little bit long, and I didn't look at the dogs. So let's take a look and see if any of them got injured. The best way to do that is just to hit the L button and literally look at the dogs. Wow, not a single one of them got injured. That is pretty amazing. Now you can see they do look hungry. This one's okay. He's fine. So I did drop quite a bit of food there for him before I tied him up, or actually before I started to skin the bear. So they should be good. One of them's still pretty hungry, but since none of them are injured, it's okay. I don't have to worry about feeding them much more, at least until once they do get injured, you have to feed them, make sure they're full. Otherwise, I don't think they'll heal well. But we don't have to worry about that. Now I just need to worry about butchering the bear. So we're going to take care of that. Luckily, with the 4 dogs here, I should be able to haul everything with us. So the bones, the bear skull, the meat, all of it's coming home in one go, which is very important in the summertime. Otherwise, if we leave this out here and have to make a trip back, like half the stack, it's going to go bad almost certainly in this warm weather. So we are weary, but I'm just going to rest. Oh, there's a badger. Damn, I'd like to get that. But no, we need a butcher. Damn. Okay, she's extremely tired, so I'm literally going to sleep here. All right, up and at 'em. Now, she's carrying too much stuff. This is a huge bear, so I'm going to drop it just to allow her to butcher the rest of it real quick, because there's still some here. There we go. Okay, so we are pretty weighted down. She's still weary. This is one of those instances where you just got to push your character, you know what I'm saying? All right, speaking of pushing, I'm going to push some stuff onto the dogs. Try and get most of this meat onto the dogs. If I can just keep her right where she's at, that would be perfect. All right, and we made it back to the cabin safely with all the meat intact. At least I hope so. Most of it's on the dogs here. Now, unfortunately, my fence is not complete. We left while that was still under construction, so I'm going to have to tie the dogs up here. We'll just use this birch tree, but that's not a big deal. Just a couple of quick buttons, and they'll be all safe and sound, and I can come retrieve the meat as I need to prepare it. So we'll tie them there. Now, first things first, I do want to get the skin processed, or at least started, and in between stages, we will work on the meat essentially, because remember, I have to smoke all this meat, so it's going in the cabin. We got to start the fire. Luckily, I've prepared the firewood and stuff. I will go ahead and zoom in here for you guys, but let's drop. Oh no, I don't need to drop anything. I do have the meat on me. You know what? It's probably safest, just to be certain, I'm going to drop that extra raw meat right here. Put it in our cellar. In fact, why don't I take the time? I'm going to go ahead and pull all the meat off the dogs too and drop it in the cellar real quick. Okay, there we go. So that's the last of the bear cuts. And like I said, that's raw, 300 pounds of raw meat, but I think it'll be better off in the cellar. At least I hope that that will keep it from going stale and certainly prevent it from going rotten. We definitely don't want that, because this bear skin, this is almost 25 pounds of fur that we've got to work on. So it's going to take us a couple hours just to get this through the first 2 stages. But, oh, there's a mallard. Nice, nice. I might set up a couple of these bird traps around the shoreline. I took them down because we don't really need bird feathers for any reason, but the mallards are kind of cool. I wouldn't mind getting a couple mallard leathers. Maybe make, I don't know, a mallard leather belt or something small like that. But anyway, that's just for fun, really. We did find some mallard eggs in a recent episode, though, and I was able to eat those. But we just ate them raw, so I don't know. I mean, it was okay. She didn't get sick or anything, but I don't know if we'll be looking for more mallard eggs necessarily. But okay, so here's the first and second stage for the fur complete. Very good. So now if we try to pick it up, it says it's not ready by till noon, and it's midnight. So she's still a little bit tired. She's not completely tired. I think we can probably go ahead and process some of the meat. So I'm going to grab all the cordage I've got. That's about 50 pounds of cordage too, so it's no small amount, meaning also I'm going to have to just do this in stages. We'll grab 100. That's 2 rounds of smoking. And let's get our fire started. So it needs to be somewhat substantial fire. It doesn't have to be huge, but I can't just throw like 3 branches in there and expect that to smoke the cabin out. So I'm going to push, I'll do 25 let's do 25 branches, and I'll just do like 2 slender trunks. That's, I think, more than enough to smoke out this little cabin, certainly. All right, I think, in fact, I probably wouldn't need the slender trunks at all. Just 20 to 50 branches might do the trick, but come on, last minute, you can't start a fire. There we go. All right, I think I'm going to start right here in the corner, because this, I haven't built it yet, but I want a bed right inside the door, so I'll smoke the meat right here, or here maybe. Either way, it doesn't matter. Let's do it right here. And smoke raw meat. Beautiful. All right, grab some of these spruce withes. What does it say? Oh, salt. Wait. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Smoking is not S. Smoking is E. Whoops. See, that's where it's important to remember your hotkeys, you know. But usually if you do mess up, there'll be something like that, which will remind you, like it's asking for salt. Then obviously I hit the wrong button. Okay, I've got about half the meat done, and here goes the next stage for the bear skin. This is going to be good for trading right here for sure. So now we've got one more stage. We just have to wait till early morning tomorrow before we can go through the final, which is also the most laborious stage. It tells you that as you start the process, but I'm just kind of looking and seeing what I've got here still outside in my shelter. I've got the yarn for crafting up feathers or whatever else, or I'm sorry, arrows or whatever else we need. A couple of antlers, I can probably use those for trading. There's my perfect shovel. We'll be using that to dig some holes here shortly, probably make some pit traps. Those are very effective and stuff. I can have a lot of fun making pit traps if you set up a trap fence. It's one of the most effective ways of like funneling big game into nice, easy traps, but that's probably for another episode. Today we're going to focus on getting this bear done and hopefully doing some more hunting because, like I said, we need these furs for trading. That's my goal right now, is to kind of build up our wealth so we can have a nice stash for hopefully the next winter, because that's ideal time to like make a large trade trip. Once the ice is all frozen over, the water is nice and solid with ice. That way you can just walk over it and you don't have to worry about going around every single lake. So I'm definitely not going to be making any trips to the Drick culture while the water is unpassable. All right, there we go. So there's some branches. Now, another thing to keep in mind with smoking is once we're done smoking this meat, I will need to come back here on a daily or semi-daily basis and light a fire inside the cabin just to continually smoke it. Otherwise, large portions of your meat can go bad if you don't continue to smoke it. All right, so I've got 92 left. That's good. That's the last of it. So let's get this closed, and one more time with the correct hotkeys. Running out of spruce whites, so I might have to go into the forest probably and cut down some more saplings, but I've been using a lot for the fence up there too. Our little dog kennel, and all trap fences use cordage. So anyway, let's get this finished. And boom, there we go. So smoking doesn't take as long as drying. I think drying is like 24 to 26 days. These take about 15 to 16 days, so that's not bad. Oh boy, well, I'm working on the final stages of the bear skin here, and a swan has entered my view. So we've got swans and ducks in our lake right here. This is a pretty nice enchanted area, isn't it? Oh, I just canceled it. Why did I do that? That was so stupid. Anyway, we're working on the bear skin. I just wasted about an hour's worth of work by canceling it, but hey, we got to look at the swan, I guess. No, definitely going to set up some more of these traps along the shore, because if we could catch a swan, that would be, I think, a pretty hefty amount of meat. It's certainly not going to be equivalent to a bear, where we get nearly like 200 pounds, but still, it's better than, a little... Oh, there's the duck, too. The mallard is back. So, yeah. We definitely need to catch some of these birds, because at the very least, maybe it'll clear out the population so I can finish a crafting event without getting interrupted constantly. Okay, well, after the bear is finally processed, I decided to go ahead and finish up our little dog kennel area. So I just have one more section of fence. I had to cut down 2 trees to clear it out, but no big deal. Oops, wrong command. There we go. All right, so I've got the stakes already prepared, and I've got some extra cordage on me, so we were able to do it up real quick. Now I'm going to drop some of these stakes. Yeah, I don't need to carry these around. We'll leave them right here by the fence. And the cordage itself, I'll probably put that back in the cabin because we'll need it more for smoking. I don't plan on going out and buying a bunch of reindeer or cows right away, but eventually we'll want some of those, so we will need more cordage. But another thing we need to do is go take care of this bear skull, too. Of course, there is the bear skull right if we go to our spells and magic means. Also, real quick, let's sacrifice some meat. Let me grab a couple of pieces here of reindeer. All right, just want to keep ourselves in good with the spirit realm. There we go, we feel comfortable. But if we come back, we can see that bear skull right. This is one of those I think most players start off knowing. But if you kill a bear, you'll get the skull, and there's a proper ceremony by placing it in a lone pine tree. You can, like, it says assure proper circulation of the bear spirit. So we want to assure that circulation, don't we? So I'm going to leave the dogs. You know what? For one thing, I should start closing my door. And let's get this fire started. It is after midnight, so it's pretty late, but we're pretty vigorous. Like her sleep schedule's just a little bit off, so I think we will grab the dogs and we're gonna try and do a little hunting. Now remember, I have to come back here on a daily or semi-daily basis to keep that fire going, but she can venture out a little bit. I think it's safe. Now, what I like to do in order to find a lone pine tree, I come to one of these pine mires, which is pretty open, and we just need to find a single, yeah, here we go. So a lone adult pine tree right here in front of her. So we will wield the bear skull, and I will hit T to throw it. Where is it? It's down at the bottom, bear skull. And now if you read it, it says you gracefully hang the bear skull in the pine. So we have completed that ritual, so that's good. Oh, I've still got two. Why did I carry these with me? I think I made these by accident when I was making my the resources for my fence. So I need to just drop this stuff. That's 12 pounds of wood I don't need. But anyway, let me grab my arrow. Yeah, I'll just drop these things off. And I think it's time to get out into the world. Try for another bear, or something lesser than a bear even. Oh, so it's just on my way to the hunting grounds, and check this out. We've got a beaver down here. Look at that. You see a beaver-shaped figure in the distance. That's probably something we would need to trap. But look, it went to the other side of the lake. But that's awesome. This lake, this is like still partially the same like lake area where our base is built. So this is a very, very fruitful lake for sure. I like this point. I didn't know we'd see all this wild animals here and stuff, but it's some unique game. You don't see swans and beavers in every single area of the world. So we picked a pretty good spot, I think, luckily. So I'm just going to leave the beaver though. Like I said, I just saw another bear. No. Wait, no, I'm sorry. That's not a bear. That's a small elk or a female elk. So let's go for it. It is kind of in an open area, but it's enclosed. It's like surrounded by a lot of woods here, but we'll see what we can do. All right, there it is. Let's take a quick peek at it just to gauge its status. It's just a plain old elk. There we go. So I've got my fowling arrow ready. Let's see here. Can we hide? No, we're in plain sight of it. I want to look. Hold on. I'm thinking about taking off some of my mittens. I think I might have already taken off the fur mittens, but I got to take off my leather paws. So now we're just using bare hands on our bow and arrow. Should help us a little bit. And it didn't move, so we're still in good shape. Let's take a shot at it. Nailed it. Suffering minor puncture. Fowling arrows are incredibly accurate, but I tell you, they don't do a lot of damage. But that's okay. Let's wield a real arrow this time. Oh, and by the way, speaking of arrows, take a quick peek at the world map. This also doesn't pass any time when you do this action. But we do have an order for some masterwork broadhead arrows. So once we get those, we'll probably have to spend a day or two crafting up some arrows back at the base. And of course, I have to keep reminding myself I need to go back there and smoke that fire. Otherwise, I'll just spend all like a whole week out here hunting and forget about it and ruin some of that bear. But anyway, it looks a little fatigued, so I'm going to keep the pressure on. You know the routine. If you've watched any of the series before and seen me hunt, we just kind of keep wearing it out. I'll take one or two shots, maybe at most, but that's going to be it. And the rest is just chasing it until it becomes breathless. And I can literally walk up to it and just club it down. So let's see if we can get to that point before it runs into the woods. Okay, well, this is interesting. I've called this out before, but the animals around areas like this where there's a lot of water, sometimes they get confused a little bit and they can't figure out the easiest escape. So you can see it's actually turned and it's facing me again. I think I will take a shot at it. I'm going to go for a headshot, try and drop it in one. Now, my endurance penalty is kind of high at 46, so that's not ideal, but we're just going to work with what we've got. So let's take that headshot. Oh, sailed right past it. I should have used the fouling arrow, but I was trying to go for the kill shot. Nonetheless, it still might be a little trapped, so let's continue to move in. Okay, no, it figured out where the little archipelago was, but looks like I lost an arrow. Not a big deal. It's not a fouling. Fouling arrows are super easy to make. Just a little bit of bone, some of the proper tree trunks, little saplings, and some cordage. But all right, so he's continuing down this way. Where you at, sir? I'm gonna go into stealth mode. See if we can't catch him off guard, maybe. But we are slower this way, so he's potentially going into the woods. Look at that. Tracks go right into the forest. Dang it. Yeah, so I usually don't pursue them into the forest unless they're really, really injured or breathless. And this guy doesn't qualify. It's not the ideal situation for hunting. And there's probably so much more game out here. Now, I might be able to encounter him again, but as I said, this isn't the best hunting spot. This is all flat land, don't get me wrong, but you can see that the forest surrounds it pretty tightly. So there's a lot more open area to the south here that I'd like to focus on. This is kind of where I was headed, but you got to take every opportunity, even if you lose an arrow or two, because you can always replace the arrows very easily. But getting a big kill like that, super close to home, you can't pass up on the chance. Okay, well, take a look at that. So we pass on one animal and another one pops up to replace it. So this is a much better area too. You can see we've actually got it kind of cornered next to the lake, I hope. There it is. All right, let's see. Hopefully there's a herd of them too. Yes, there is. Very nice. Let's make sure nobody's behind us. Okay, hard to see there, but let's move in. I can't stealth, so they clearly see me, which is not surprising considering there's like a half dozen of them. But I'm just going to follow the herd a little bit. Okay, this is probably a good shot right here. Oh, nailed it. That was a good shot with a regular arrow that time too. It's serious puncture in the right hand leg. It's crippled, so this one's going to be much easier to run after. Now, the hard part at this point is remembering which one, keeping your eye on the one you've actually injured. But this guy's really hurt very badly. So I think we're going to be able to follow him. Yep, and we've got him trapped against the water. I'm going to stop running. I'm actually going to go ahead and take a risk and wield my knife real quick. So I don't have any ranged ability. I'm just hoping to get it cornered here. All right, let me sprint after it. Okay, yeah. Stop sprinting. I'll zoom in here for you guys. And let's see if we can't catch it in a melee blow. Okay, I'm going to sprint. Oh, yeah, I can't get away. Stop sprinting. Go into stealth mode. You're safe. No, I need to sprint after it. Okay, watching my endurance penalty. It's making a break for its life, I'll tell you that. All right, I need to stop sprinting. Okay, gotta walk. Ooh, let's look at it. What's its fatigue level? Very fatigued. We need to get it breathless. But I also have to prevent myself from becoming breathless, so I think we're close. Let's see. Because it's trying to sprint the whole time. It's sprinting. Still very fatigued. Ooh, man. I think we've got this, though. Yep. Okay, it's definitely breathless because it can't get away now. There it is. See, it looks breathless, so that's perfect. Okay. Let's take this guy. It's still trying to run, but I could probably even like go tie up the dogs right now, but it's okay. They're not going to hurt the animal until it's dead. I don't want them to eat the carcass, so I'll need to tie them up before we skin and butcher it. But anyway, let's take this baby down. Go for the legs. There we go. We've knocked it unconscious. Okay, well, I have killed the animal and I just skinned it. We got the dogs tied up behind us and we managed to pull off a fine reindeer skin. So that, again, is great for trading. She actually got cold too while I was skinning it, so I went and built a fire next to her. But we're going to butcher it, and I won't make you guys sit through the whole processing part. Let's just see what we get off of it, how much meat. So there's 121 cuts plus a 10-pound fur essentially. So that's great. Very, very good. And like I said, time to get home, set the fire in our cabin, and smoke this baby up. All right. Well, I've been working here around the campsite. We've got the deer completely finished. Actually, no, the skin's not completely finished, but the meat's all taken care of. I've been lighting the fire daily, and I did set those traps. So you can see there's quite a few traps now along the shore, and it looks like we got lucky down here to the south. I see a duck just sitting still. There he is. So we've got the mallard. I also happened to catch a squirrel while I was up there working, setting traps. I saw one trapped in a tree, so I just went up, shot it once with my arrow, and we were good to go. So we are doing pretty well here. Let's grab our knife, my trusty knife. This knife's racked up several kills now at this point, but our bow and arrow does a lot of the work too. Okay, it's unconscious, so blunt to the head. There we go. So we got that mallard carcass, 2.5 pounds. It's not great, but that's okay. We will reset the traps. And there's still a swan out there. Plus, I've seen many, many birds flying around too. So we'll just kind of keep it going with the small game, especially as I have to come back to this base. Like I say, I've stressed several times now just to keep the fire going. So it's worth it. I think ultimately even for just small skins, we can get and craft into stuff. But let's see what this guy turns out to be here. Okay, we got the mallard feathers, a fine mallard skin. Very nice. So we will butcher that. Okay, we got 3 cuts off of it. So we will clean it and tan it. As you can see, I've got 3 skins now at my feet. There's the mallard fat. We'll use that. All right, well, I need to start the fire anyway for the day, so I'll probably just grab a small cord, and we'll smoke up that mallard meat too. Let me zoom in here so we can see things a little better. But I try and keep the fire ready to go, so that is now burning. Like I said, I'm going to stand right here and grab a little piece of cordage. So I'll just grab one of these and smoke those. It's not a full string's worth, but that's okay. At this point, I got so much cordage, it's not a concern. And as you can see, it's hard to see actually, but right here I do have a bed now, and I placed a table right here. So what I really need to do is make a club real quick. Let me go ahead and rest so I'm at full strength here, and we're going to craft up a club. Now the reason for this is when I come in here to take care of the final stage of these furs, I want to have the best material available. Like a fine club would be really great. Let's go to weapons, because the club is technically a weapon, even though we're using it for crafting. And I've got several trunks. Oh, perfect. So we did get a fine club. There it is. So the quality of your tools certainly helps with the outcome of your skins, and if we get like a superior or a fine skin, we want to do our best to maintain that good quality. So I'm going to drop this at my feet because I don't need to carry it. We just need a club like within reach. But this cabin is now fully set. We've got tons of firewood in the corner. We got cordage right here. We got meat being smoked, of course. And this is basically in this little pile where my table's at. I've got all my trade goods, essentially like the really, really expensive stuff, some of my winter clothing here. So as you can see, and of course all my skins and stuff and leathers go on the bed. So we will sleep with these, curl up nicely. And of course when we're ready to trade them away, they're easy to find, all separate and stuff. So this is just how I like my cabin. It's pretty perfect. But one thing we're missing is more furs. So I'm not done with the hunting process. We are going to continue. And let's see, what time is it? It is day 2 of the 6th week before midsummer point. So we've still got a lot of hunting to go, a lot more smoking and stuff. I think this is probably a good place to end today's episode. But like I said, you can expect a lot more adventure and exciting. We're going to do some some more quests too in the near future. So I hope you guys will stick with the series. Tune in tomorrow, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I want to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much, and I will see you all on the next episode.